Welcome to the UWS News Sports Show. I'm Stuart Reid. Coming up today, we'll have the latest from Great Britain's Davis Cup match, and we'll have expert opinions on St Mirren's match tonight against Celtic. It's been a successful week for the Ayr United Football Academy. Our reporter Ryan Crombie can tell us more.
4 Ayr United Academy players recently graduated from the SFA Performance Schools, which are aimed at improving football standards across the country. This is both a big achievement for the players and Ayr United Football Academy. I caught up with Head Development Officer Sean Ferry, who explains more. So just how pleased are you that some of your academy players have graduated through the SFA Performance Schools?
As an academy, we are delighted because it's been a long process for the boys, even though they do it throughout their school years. But when they first kicked off over 4 years ago, and to see the programme out, it's just been fantastic. And to have 4 players as well for us that are currently in our programme, I'm just delighted that the boys have went through that process. In particular, one of them actually didn't start till he came into second year, so he actually moved school because he got selected to move to the Grange into the performance school. So for him as well, I mean, it's just been brilliant.
Sean then discussed how this is proving that the Ayr United Academy works.
It can definitely be seen as an indicator, but it's probably not the only indicator. Because obviously you're delighted with any player that gets involved in the Scottish national setup, whether it's a performance school or one of the teams. But there's other indicators that we would measure our success in for young players, and it's as simple as a player going from an under-11s team and getting signed for the next season to under-12s, or it could be a player that gets released, maybe hopefully doesn't go away from football, goes to a boys club or grassroots, and then they come back into the game later on in their stages. So there's different successes that we would measure, and being a performance school is definitely one of them, and it's probably something that does help your reputation as an academy when you're saying to any players coming in that you've got that opportunity, and you can show examples of, like the 4 boys we're talking about today. These boys had an opportunity, they did the trials, they managed to get themselves in, and it's just part of being the academy.
Ayr United Academy will be hoping to bring through more players in the years to come. So far, the indications are that this is more than achievable. Ryan Crombie, UWS News.
Great Britain are in tennis action today as they take on Uzbekistan at Glasgow's Emirates Arena. Dan Evans is returning after more than a year out following his drugs ban and is level at 2 sets all with Denis Istomin in the first match, before Cameron Norrie comes up against Jurabek Karimov later today. Ayr Rugby Club play Stirling County tomorrow. Gregor Hines has more from Milbury.
Life couldn't have started off any better for Ayr with life under Peter Murchie. They've managed to get impressive wins over Edinburgh Academical and Curry Cheetahs. This week they take on Stirling at Milbury Park, and I met up with Callum Kerr, Club Media Officer, to talk about the team's chances going into the game.
Yeah, well they have to be confident, Gregor, after a great performance last week against Curry Chieftains, who finished second in the league last year. They had a lot of fight in them. We beat them in the semi-final, the BT Premiership as it was then, so they came to Milbury with a lot to prove, and we managed to shut them up with a comprehensive 30-17 win. So going into this week, there's a few changes in the team, but for the most part it's very similar. We'll look for a real physical game up front, a war of attrition as it was last week, and we'll take that forward, and yeah, the boys will be very confident going in against Stirling.
Callum also spoke about the effect Peter Murchie's had at the club since he took over from Callum Foster this summer.
Yeah, it's been a massive change. You know, Peter Murchie's a very well respected guy within the sport. He's not too disengaged with the club game, and he was still playing pro rugby last year in France, of course with the Warriors before that. He's a great rugby mind, and coming in he's able to it's good to have someone who's been disengaged with you, who can look at it with a fresh face, because for a lot of time it has been knowing the same type of guys. So this year he's came in and we've got a youthful exuberance around the club with young players coming through, and he's been able to have a fresh set of eyes on it, and going forward you'll see we're almost a completely different outfit on the field, and it's proven dividends so far.
So there you have it. Ayr looking fairly confident going to this weekend's game, and if the form's anything to go by, Stirling could be in for a very hard Saturday afternoon. And hopefully the weather is a little bit better for the game. This has been Gregor Hines, UWS News.
Staying with rugby, and Worcester forward Cornell Dupree has revealed that he will be unable to speak for up to 4 weeks after a throat injury which occurred 5 minutes into his debut against Wasps at the start of the month. St Mirren face champions Celtic at the Simple Digital Arena tonight. Ryan Gallagher travelled to Paisley to get the thoughts of the fans ahead of tonight's game.
It's a baptism of fire tonight for Oran Kearney as his St Mirren side take on Celtic in this first game in charge. We come down here to the Simple Digital Arena today to speak to Bundy's fans about their thoughts on the new manager ahead of tonight's big clash against the champions, and also their thoughts on the shock sacking of Alan Stubbs.
Yeah, you know, definitely. I wasn't, to be honest with you, I probably wasn't looking forward to the game as much as what I am now. Just with a new manager coming in, definitely made a difference. You can actually feel the atmosphere's get lifted a lot. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. Yeah, it is a tough match, and it's a tough match obviously for Oran Kearney's first game. I don't know. I would settle for a draw right now. Before, I would have thought we'd probably beat 3 or 4 nothing, but I'm going to go for a draw.
Well, that's an opinion. It started well, isn't it? You know, we played these games in that cup, they were all poor, very poor. Apart from that game, the game against Dundee, we were very lucky. Very lucky. They were a good side, so it's a hard one, isn't it?
It's a hard game, but a good test for him to see how he gets on as a manager. This is the first time we've had the 2 stands used by the opposing supporters.
I think Stubbs, I just don't think the players took to him, I don't think the fans took to him. I think he really kind of struggled. Obviously won the first game against Dundee, but after that they really struggled. It was at Tynecastle where we get beat 4-1, and I think then you could see the players' heads were down and something had to change. So I'm just glad that the board took action and sorted it straight away.
Celtic, isn't it? The best club in the best team in the country, so just need to hope. Miracles happen. It's happened before, you never know.
Ryan Gallagher for UWS News at the Simple Digital Arena.
More on that game now, and our reporter Gary Kirkpatrick caught up with tonight's St Mirren TV commentator Chris McMillan.
Well, we have our very own Chris McMillan in the studio with us today, who will be commentating on tonight's game for St Mirren TV against Celtic. Chris, it's obviously Oran Kearney's first game in charge of the club at St Mirren. You know, how big of a job is it that he's got in his hands?
I think it is a big job for him. They've had a tough start to the season, obviously under Stubbs, and whilst he might be a bit of an unknown, his story has been quite well publicised in the media, and you know everyone's kind of heard about how he's taken Coleraine to the Irish Cup, and he's done really well bringing them up and building his own team. But at the end of the day, it is still his first professional full-time job as a manager. I think we need to remember that as well.
And obviously you touched upon Stubbs there. You know, how do you think that's went down with St Mirren fans?
Well, I think Stubbs' departure, from a St Mirren's fan point of view, I think they could see that it wasn't working. They realised that he maybe did have to go and a change had to be made. I think from outside of the club, maybe people that hadn't been watching St Mirren as much thought it was a bit of a shock. Maybe he should have been given a little bit more time. Yeah. But I was actually speaking to Alex Ray, who touched upon the fact that although managers do need a bit of time, and someone like Jack Ross, he got given time and then he was able to create something successful. So hopefully the board and the fans can give Kearney a bit of time as well.
And obviously we'll touch upon Celtic as well. They're playing St Mirren tonight. How do you think they'll get on tonight?
Celtic, I think they'll be looking to keep on and kick on after the Old Firm. They've obviously got the Europa League next week as well, so they'll be looking to pick up points in the league. And although there might be an element of an unknown, I think Rodgers has already given Kearney the thumbs up. He seems to know a little bit about him, so he might know how St Mirren are going to set up where some of the St Mirren fans might not. And I think it's going to be tough for St Mirren, let's be honest.
A quick run through of the other matches taking place this weekend is Stephen Gerrard's Rangers host Dundee at Ibrox, Hamilton travel to Livingston, Hibs face Kilmarnock, Motherwell host league leaders Hearts, while St Johnstone and Aberdeen battle it out in Perth. Well, that's you up to date with today's sports news. I've been Stuart Reid, thanks for watching.